Mackie, show me your two front teeth.
I don't have two front teeth.
Let me see what you don't have.
You know, what an amazing kid. She just lit up the world. She was one of those that you couldn't wait to see grow up.
Super athletic, super funny, outgoing, spent all her time outdoors, was good at school, just was a happy kid and lots of fun.
You just thought, wow, this kid, so much potential. Her diagnosis was a complete shock. I can tell you the day that it was Martin Luther King Monday. It was a January 18th on a sunny day, and just didn't catch the ball. Was laughing it off. Just had this odd energy about her, but she was laughing.
It happened within days. And for me, we were riding back from the pier on bikes, and McKenna was riding like this down the bike path. And I thought she was messing around. Now I know her balance was compromised. 2 days later, she started throwing up. And then we saw the eyes start to droop and the mouth start to droop. When you have a child, that's your biggest fear, is something being wrong with your child.
For the next 3 days, we are dumbfounded. Why is she getting worse? Why is there a palsy in her face? Why is she throwing up for no particular reason? And even the pediatricians thought, this is a virus. It wasn't.
We had to stay overnight, and then we did an MRI the next morning. In the afternoon, the doctor came, took us to the nurse's station in front of everybody and told us, your daughter has DIPG. It's a terminal upon diagnosis tumor, 0% chance of survivability. Take her out, make memories before she dies. And so to go from my kid has a virus to my kid has a tumor, but it'll be okay, to my kid's gonna die, is still incomprehensible.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again?
So McKenna's disease is pediatric brain cancer, diffused intrinsic pontine glioma, or DIPG for short. It is the worst of the worst. It's a tumor that actually totally encompasses the brainstem. So it is interwoven through all of the things that are most critical and robs the child of every function, whether it's breathing, swallowing, general movement. The child is paralyzed, but is fully cognizant of what's happening to them. It's probably the worst thing a parent could ever envision happening to their child.
When we got the diagnosis of DIPG, we were told there was really nothing we could do. And that's when we realized that the cures weren't there, and it ended up not proceeding fast enough for McKenna, which is how we actually became associated with Dr. Manji and ended up donating McKenna's tumor to her to establish a cell line.
The foundation was never part of our original vision, which seems probably odd in hindsight, but we were surrounded by this amazing community that truly lifted us up during the worst of the worst. And the seed money was based on an event that we had when McKenna was here. It was called the Party with a Purpose. And humbly, Huntington Beach showed up and raised $80,000 in the blink of an eye for her care. Not a penny of it was used for McKenna. So we were sitting on this war chest of how do we help the next kid? And by default, it became the seed money to where we're going to do something about this. And the evolution very quickly was the McKenna Claire Foundation.
So the work that we do for the kids and families who are yet to be diagnosed. Researchers need funding because the government gives less than 4% to all pediatric cancers, much less brain cancer, much less the rarest of brain cancers, which is DIPG. So when you slice that pie, it's a pretty small piece that DIPG gets. So when we fund researchers, we're enabling them to find answers. And in the 5 years since McKenna's diagnosis, we've learned more than the 50 years since Neil Armstrong's daughter was diagnosed in 1961. So it's moving because people have donated, because awareness is building, because of this collaborative effort. The needle is moving now, and it hasn't for a very, very long time. The fact that even the researchers now are saying that there are glimmers of hope, which was unheard of before. So that's what keeps us going, because it's difficult. I mean, to do this day in and day out and to be involved with the families of kids who are dying every day, it's really hard, and there are times that we want to give up. But we realized McKenna didn't have a choice in the matter, and we really don't either.
We are always in disbelief that another family will live this nightmare, but it also makes it to where it is vital that we're successful, and I'm not going to stop doing it until it happens.